everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports.
The beautiful Puget Sound just to our west. You get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On second down, Rawls. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
First down, this is Rawls. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Throwing is Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The defense here for the Rams.
I got a kick out of talking last year with Aaron Donald about how when he came out of college, many NFL teams thought he might be undersized to play defensive tackle. Instead, he's been a perennial all-pro, Pro Bowl player since day one, and offenses are still searching for ways to block him and keep him from disrupting their offense.
Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Go, baby. Get that ball.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The numbers for Rawls from a week ago. 16 carries, 77 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league to end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
Now Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. You've got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a man who played his college ball for the Iowa Hawkeyes, 6'2" quarterback C.J. Beathard.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard right around the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago, 5 catches, 56 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, it's Gurley. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. So that'll back him up 5. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. They find some open field here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the Rams getting set to go now as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Right there at the 43.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
To throw is Beathard. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. An update from Buffalo. That one now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Panthers. Cam Newton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. On second down, Wilson looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Rawls got some real estate inside the 30, the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And there's the total for the season. Of course, every runner wants to hit that 1,000-yard mark. He's going to need to turn up production a little bit if he wants to do just that.
And I think he'll get a lot of help because teammates want players to get to milestones. And 1,000 yards for any running back in the NFL, that's a milestone. And it reflects positively on the team, too, as well, when a person reaches that threshold. So he's not just out there running by himself. He'll get plenty of escorts, and I think guys will do a little extra blocking for him in this one.
And I'm guessing he knows what he needs to get to reach 1,000.
Any runner that tells you that he doesn't
is lying.
Yes.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw is Beathard. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Returnable for Lockett. He spins free. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo, and the Panthers are starting to pull away in that one. Cam Newton with one touchdown pass thus far.
Watch right, we got right.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And he is knocked down from the side. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Wilson again to Rolls. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Three down.
Green 80.
Mike 52.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Green 39.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to our EA Sports. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo, and it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. Cam Newton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Fresh set of downs here.
12th mine. Heavy.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here we go now. Green 39.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Bobby Wagner in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. They'll throw here. Beathard. He sets to fire deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away.
He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now Beathard going deep here for Watkins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They give it to Rawls. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Here's Wilson to throw. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he's got room. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Here we go. No, check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. K.J. Wright coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there.
It got his man complete. 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 93 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No. I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Shoves him aside. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. That's going to set him back 5 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Back to throw Beathard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Beathard. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Time for a break. Here's Johnny Hecker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Lockett. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. They are in the 4th and Buffalo. And the Panthers have scored to extend their lead. Cam Newton with 1 touchdown pass thus far. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he's got some space here. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 11.
5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. Check Mike. Check Mike.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
You got him. You got it.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out...